madness. This is Sparta!
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Sude TV. And today we show you our list for top 10 famous movies quote.
Go to hell and take your friends with you! Get off my plane.
For this list, we'll show you 10 movie lines that become famous and make you remember straight to the movies when you heard it. And not only that, some quotes become legendary catchphrases and used in many other movies, series, cartoon, or parody.
Shit.
Number 1. Hasta la vista baby, Terminator 2 Judgement Day. It's one of the most famous lines in cinema history, delivered to perfection with an Austrian accent by Arnold Schwarzenegger. At the time of its release, with a budget of $102 million, directed by James Cameron in 1991, Terminator 2 Judgement Day was the most expensive film ever made. Terminator 2 is still a story about Sarah Connor and her son John as they are pursued by a new and more advanced Terminator, the liquid metal, shape-shifting T-1000, sent back in time to kill John and prevent him from becoming the leader of the human resistance. A second, less advanced Terminator is also sent back in time by the resistance to protect John.
If you want to shine them on, it's hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Its visual effects saw breakthrough in computer-generated imagery, including the first use of natural human motion for a computer-generated character, and the first partially computer-generated main character.
Did you do that?
Because you told me to.
Since the movie release, this Hasta la vista baby line is so famous. That's why lots of movies characters try copying these lines.
Oh no! John Wilkes Booth! Hasta la vista, baby. Light it up! Hasta la vista,
Do you even remember me? Sarah Connor? Blowing up Cyberdyne? Hasta la vista, baby?
Hasta la vista, baby.
It's Spider-Man!
Number 2. With great power comes great responsibility, from Spider-Man. I'm guessing 4 out of 5 people would attribute this quote to Ben Parker, uncle of Peter Parker from Spider-Man movies and comic books.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Research into this quote origin find that it can be attributed to a host of historically significant events and people, including Voltaire, Winston Churchill, and both President Roosevelt. With great power comes great responsibility, alternatively known as Peter Parker principle. It's a proverb popularized by Spider-Man comics books written by Stan Lee. Since then, the first person who comes to our mind when we hear this quote must be Ben Parker or Spider-Man. A few months after its first time being spoken by Ben in comics, Sam Raimi live-action Spider-Man film was released, where it is used twice, first spoken by Uncle Ben himself and recalled at the end by Peter. This film considered to be where the phrase especially gained a pop cultural significance. Contemporary reinterpretation of Spider-Man, including Raimi 2002 films, as well as the Ultimate Spider-Man comic, depict Ben as saying this phrase to Peter in their last conversation together. Comic book writer Greg Pak opined that the motto was one of the greatest single moral injection in all of American pop culture.
Good things for other people. You had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not choice, responsibility.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I will never forget these words. With great power comes great responsibility.
Number 3. I'm going to make him an offer he can refuse. The Godfather. This line first spoken by Don Corleone, played by Marlon Brando, in the film The Godfather, directed by Francis Ford Coppola in 1972. When Don Corleone is visited by his godson, the famous singer Johnny Fontaine, a characterization that's widely believed to be based on Frank Sinatra, although many people associated with Sinatra in the film have denied this. Fontaine asked Vito for help to secure a film role that will boost his fading career. The head of the film studio has previously refused to give Fontaine the part, but Don Corleone tells him he'll convince the director to give him the role. "This Hollywood big shot is going to give you what you want," Corleone says, then gives the simple explanation as only a godfather can.
Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Something so good that the person offered it has to say yes. A few scenes later, we find that the offer is really a command, and the director can refuse because doing so will likely get him killed. The Corleone family consigliere Tom Hagen visits the director Waltz at his home, where they walk the ground and Waltz shows him a $600,000 horse. Waltz stands firm, asserting that Fontaine will never get the part. Walt wakes up to find the severed head of his prized horse in the bed with him. An offer he can refuse? More like do what we say or else. It is one of the best known lines in any film and ranks second only to "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn" as the most celebrated quotation from an American film. The offer he can refuse line is used in all three films of the Godfather trilogy. It's hard to say exactly how many times an offer he can refuse has been used in other contexts since 1972.
Hey, Mike, are you sure about that? Mo loves the business. He never said nothing to me about selling.
Yeah, well, I'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
Number 4. I want to play a game. Saw. The quote was first uttered by the Saw movie, which was released in 2004. The quote is uttered by Jigsaw to his victim as he began his death game where the individual must solve puzzles and disarm traps before being killed as time runs out. The quote has subsequently appeared in the other movies in the series. The director, James Wan, breathed life into dying horror genre with a little indie movie called Saw. Unlike its 6 too many sequels, Saw isn't all about blood, guts, and dismemberment. Even if the opening scenes is filled with a few staples of horror movies like Bathtub, a dead body, and of course a hacksaw.
I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose.
The Jigsaw Killer is all about getting inside your noggin via his own patented and playful main game. And this is where the quote, which becomes his catchphrase throughout the movie, comes in. Jigsaw isn't your average serial killer. He is a man dying from cancer who wants to teach people how to value life, albeit in a pretty gruesome ways. If his victims die, then they are lacking the survival instinct. It's like a video game. Solve his trap and puzzle, and you live another day. Flinch or make a mistake, and it's game over.
Key to that chain is in the bathtub.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 5. Why so serious? Batman: The Dark Knight. This line is spoken by the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, in the film The Dark Knight, directed by Christopher Nolan in 2008. Obviously, picking the Joker to be principal bad guy for the sequel was a good start. The maniacal clown has always been Batman's most beloved nemesis, but that didn't mean it would be slammed down. Jack Nicholson had been pretty memorable Joker in 1989 film, even landing an Oscar nomination.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Plus, Nolan's choices of Heath Ledger wasn't many people's ideas of a maniacal mass murderer. Oh god, you can even imagine how much the internet hate that casting back then. How could the studio get everybody on board for this new moodier Batman? In this scene, the Joker has turned the table on a criminal gang boss, who's put a price on his head. To show he's always got upper hand, he knows his appearance make an impression on anyone who sees him.
Sticks the blade in my mouth. Let's put a smile on that face. And why so serious?
But he likes to keep the origin of how he got his signature scars a mystery. What doesn't change is the question he asks before he wraps things up. So while the story of how he got his permanent smile changes each time he tells it, the line kind of becoming Joker catchphrase. But the irony is he's always asked it when a person's life is on the line. He might be laughing on the outside, but he's definitely not joking. And he's about to deliver the final punchline.
Now I see the funny side. Now I'm always smiling. A little fight in you.
Of course, the impact of the film, the character, the performance, and the catchphrase were amplified by Ledger, whose passing from an accidental overdose in early 2008 was now vindicated by The Dark Knight greatness. If anything, his dying added a morbid extra layer of unnovelty to his portrayal. Without Ledger around to dissect or explain it, Why So Serious became a tribute to what Ledger had achieved. Plus, it was just a cool thing to say. Number 6. I am the king of the world, Titanic. This line is spoken by Jack Dawson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, in the film Titanic, directed by James Cameron in 1997, when Jack stands at the front of the ship with his best friend Fabrizio, put both of his arms out and shout, "I am the king of the world," before counting the dolphin jumping over the waves in the water below. I'm the king of the world! The line which he screamed from the bow of the ship is not in the film script. It was believed that the actor added it on his own. Unless you are one of the people who hasn't seen Titanic, you heard it with the rest of America. Or when James Cameron shouted it from the lectern when holding his freshly minted Academy Award for Best Director. From discovering that Matthew McConaughey was originally supposed to play Jack instead of Leonardo DiCaprio, to the fact Celine Dion's iconic "My Heart Will Go On" almost never happened, it seems there's no shortcut of fun facts still waiting to be revealed. We have another one to add to our list. Apparently, DiCaprio hates these iconic lines. Number 7. May the Force be with you, Star Wars. This line is spoken most famously by Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford in the film Star Wars, directed by George Lucas in 1977. Saying "May the Force be with you" would be to wish someone well, that they will succeed and protected from dangers. The Force can enhance natural physical and mental abilities, including strength and accuracy, according to the Star Wars movies. It can mean the same thing. It can also mean good luck, be well, good fortune, and may good things happen to you. This express is actually first said by a character named General Dorona, but who cares about him? Shortly after Han Solo, Han Solo repeats it to Luke Skywalker as the Luke boards his X-Wing to blow up the Death Star. It's a nice way of showing the friendship forming between the two. The Force is mentioned several times in the Star Wars movies, but there are 3 ways that this phrase while talking is said. May the Force be with you is used 16 times in the 7 movies. May the Force be with you is spoken twice, and the Force will be with you is also used twice.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you. Goodbye, old friend. May the Force be with you.
Number 8. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola in 1974. The sequel also gives us flashback of his dad Vito Corleone's formative days in Sicily. The Godfather 2 continues the story of mafia boss Michael Corleone as he struggles to tighten his grip on his underworld empire. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer is an ancient proverb. It goes back thousands of years to the philosopher Sun Tzu. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer just means that you need to keep on top what your enemies are doing. This quote comes after an assassination attempt on Michael. When he advised one his underling to pretend like he's cool with the guy who ordered the hit. Not only will this reduce the chance of an attack, but it will also make you more prepared should that ever happen. Number 9. Say hello to my little friend, Scarface. This famous quote is spoken by Tony Montana, played by Al Pacino in Scarface, directed by Brian De Palma in 1983. As you can imagine, being a big-time coke dealer doesn't end well. When rival drug kingpin Alejandro Sosa decides to take revenge on Tony Montana, Montana is ready to fight back. As Sosa's men gather outside the door, Montana tells them to say hello to his little friend. He fires, blowing away the 5 guys outside.
Say hello to my little friend!
The brutal drug lord is going to take as many of his enemies out as he can. That's Tony Montana style. He is a fighter who rather die in the hail of bullets than surrender. When the little friend went up for auction in 2015, Darren Julian of Julian Auction described it as a non-firing prop M203 grenade launcher mounted to a non-firing M-prop M16 military-style assault rifle. That's a little inaccurate. While the grenade launcher was initially attached to an M16A1, cinematographer John Alonso decided that the AR-50 will be easier to film. The weapon appeared in other films, most notably the 1987 action hit Predator, in which Arnold Schwarzenegger wields it against a deadly alien enemy. In both movies, the weapon fired live rounds, but the practice of using live rounds in filming was banned following the 1993 on-set death of Brandon Lee. The winning bidder paid $54,000 for the gun. The climactic Say Hello to My Real Friend got a boost when fellow director Alan Steven Spielberg lent a hand. He never took the credit because he wanted the director, De Palma, to rightfully get all the credit for Scarface. Number 10. Name is Bond. James Bond. This line first spoken by James Bond, played by Sean Connery in the film Dr. No, directed by Terence Young in 1962. Sean Connery, who personified the character of James Bond, captured the word imagination from the first movie of the series. James Bond has become one of the most recognizable names in the world. The films are the longest continually running film series of all time and have grossed over $7.04 billion in total, making it the 6th highest grossing film series to date, which started 1962 with Dr. No, starring Sean Connery as Bond. As of 2021, there have been 24 films in the Eon production series. The most recent Bond film, Spectre 2015, stars Daniel Craig in his 4th portrayal of Bond. He is the 6th actor to play Bond in the Eon series. With the 25th James Bond film, No Time to Die, soon to be released, the end of the James Bond franchise is nowhere in sight. The Bond's films are renowned for a number of features, including the musical accompaniment, with the theme song having received Academy Award nomination on several occasions and 2 wins. Other important elements which run through most of the films and the gadget with which he is supplied by key brands. The films are also noted for Bond's relationship with various women, who are sometimes referred to as Bond girls. From the iconic performance by Sean Connery to the most recent big screen 007 Daniel Craig, each Bond gives the character his own flair, but some of Bond's with the one-liner live forever.
My name is Bond.
Bond.
Bond. Bond.
Bond. Bond.
James Bond.
Do you agree with our list? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for another interesting list.
Sayonara.